Kiss. Keep it simple, stupid.
I promise you, this is not a political podcast.
Jump from the deep end of the pool, set up the mood. Paranoid radio, set up the mood. Paranoid radio, set up the mood. Paranoid radio, set up the mood. 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 We're going to make deposits into the bank of knowledge. Welcome back to Paranoid Radio Podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I am Trebles, Garcia. And I want to thank the Lord for allowing me to be here today. And I want to thank every single one of you for allowing me to enter your space. Guys, I have an amazing episode lined up. And I have to let you guys know that we haven't done it this way in a while. We haven't done it in the car in a while. We haven't done emergency broadcasts in a while. Not just an emergency broadcast, but also an incredible update. Guys, you guys were almost this close to jumping off the train. But you know what? We're going to derail the entire fucking thing. How about that? Guys, I want to remind you that the most important thing that you can do for the show today is word of mouth. Check us out at paranoidradio.com. And we're not going to promote any of the affiliations today. We're going to jump in straight to the deep end of the pool and set the freaking mood. Striking with iron is hot. Please give a warm welcome to my next special guest. He's been here before. He's a co-host. He's a patriot, father, and business owner. Flash or Flashy_News1. What's up, Flash?
What's up, everybody? Reporting for duty. I got the Flash in the background, Superman on the chest.
Oh,
Let's get it done, baby.
Let's get it done. Forget about it,
Forget
guys.
about it.
Make sure you check him out, guys. His handle is Flashy_News1 on Instagram. Where else can I find you, bro?
I'm over on True Social as a backup, Flashy_Trues. Check me out on X too. Not really that active, but as a backup, Flashy_News X. 1-4. Flashy News 1-4.
I love it. I love it when you guys are here present. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys are watching on YouTube right now, right this minute, collaborate by simply engaging in the comments, liking, sharing, subscribing on the YouTube channel right now. This episode drops hours from being done. This episode is done today on the 29th, Tuesday, 29th of July. And you're watching it right now, basically almost live with zero editing. Striking with iron is hot, straight from the source, fresh off the freaking grill. So if you guys are watching it right now on YouTube, make sure you comment, subscribe, and leave some information or ask the questions we haven't answered for you guys. Flash, before anything, bro, thank you again for spending time here on the show. And I want to freaking send love, shout outs, and blessings to you. And something that's also blessing the entire motherfucking country are the trade deals. What's up, big dog? Talk to me.
Yeah, you know what? Because there's so much other noise going on right now that we forget what actually is important to this country and to our future, right? Epstein files are important, but I can't eat that shit for lunch. My children can't eat the Epstein files. Okay, that's not going to get right. So let's just get that out of the way. So we're going to lead off with the trade deals because that's actually what's most important to this country right now. So everyone said it couldn't be done. Tariffs aren't going to work. Trump is an isolationist. He's pushing away other countries. He's pushing away our allies, Japan, the EU, all of these great countries that we've had such good relationship with. They've been taking advantage of us for 50 years. They're our allies. I would hate to see how they would treat us if they were our enemies, if these people are our allies, right? So this is what people don't understand is that the tariffs are an equalizer, right? The tariffs were a way for not only for these countries to stop taking advantage of us, but to actually pay us back for taking advantage of us for the last 50 years, right?
Word.
So this is why I felt like Trump is using some kind of leverage behind the scenes because these trade deals are horrible for these other countries, bro. The Japan trade deal, terrible for Japan. Like, why would they ever sign this deal? All they had to do was wait Trump out 4 years. All they had to do, you know what I mean? So they didn't have to make these deals. So that's what makes me think that Trump is using some kind of blackmail material. Could it be the Epstein files?
Whoa.
Very possible. But look at the fruit of what we're getting from it, right? We may not be getting the Epstein files right this second, but look what we're getting maybe because of it, right? Because he hasn't released it yet. Trade deal with Japan, huge. One of our biggest trading partners. The EU trade deal is really the one that shocked the world because the EU is obviously the globalist fucking NWO, essentially, right at this point. Like, that's what the EU is. And they hate Trump. They hate everything Trump stands for. They hate everything we stand for. Look at the way Europe is being operated right now.
Absolutely.
You know, it's a bunch of unelected bureaucrats that supposedly represent each country in the Union, in the European Union. But the people of Europe have no say what goes on in the European Union, right? It's the most shadiest fucking thing ever, bro. The European Union is crazy. That's why the UK left it, right? So making that trade deal not only just completely shatters the whole narrative that the tariffs weren't going to work, that our allies were going to do this, that Harvard economists and all these people saying that tariffs were going to blah, blah, blah. They worked exactly the way Trump said they were going to work. right? And I said in the beginning, a lot of these tariffs aren't even going to happen. I said they're just being used as a negotiating tactic, and they're going to be dropped down, right? Everyone's freaking out, 35% tariffs. Everyone's freaking out. Oh my God, the prices of everything are going to go
Oh
up.
yeah, I remember. I freaking
What's
remember. Yep.
happening, yo, is that the prices, the reason why the prices haven't gone up is because the companies in America are eating the tariffs. So what does that mean? The oligarchs are eating the tariffs. Trump is taxing the billionaires, literally taxing the wealthy, because everybody wanted it to do, right? That's the big thing, tax the rich, tax. But Trump is actually doing it, right? Because those companies don't want to raise the prices because they're afraid that the consumer is going to go somewhere else, which they would. That's what you want them to be afraid of. That's why we don't have monopolies in this country, so we can
Word.
go other places so they can't manipulate the prices, right? That's why the prices have stayed the same. They've even calmed down pretty much everything, right? And the tariffs are being eaten. And not only that, we're paying like $700 billion every 2 months in tariffs, bro. We're going to start paying down debt. Trump is talking about sending rebate checks from the tariffs to Americans that are making under a certain amount of money. So we're going to start seeing checks coming in the mail from this. We're going to start paying down our debt. All these people
Whoa.
that were flipping out about the big, beautiful bill, how it's going to add to the deficit, Thomas Massey talking all that shit, you were all wrong. The tariffs are already proving that they're going to pay for the deficit. Whatever we overspend, we're going to make back in tariffs. That balances out. The big beautiful bill is going to end up being a balanced budget. Like, it may not look like it right now because we can't determine exactly how much tariffs we're going to make every month. But if it keeps going the way it's going, which it's gonna, that's actually going to get better because we raised the tariffs now on a lot of different countries. That revenue comes right back into America's pocket, so we can spend money if we're making money. We're gonna have extra money and we're gonna give it out. So these trade deals, bro, are really the backbone of this agenda, right? And I think that the whole Epstein stuff, Trump did genuinely get mad about it because he's in the middle of making all these deals, right? Like, he doesn't need all of this shit going on right now because he understands what's most important, right? He understands what's most important to the base, but also what's most important to the country and to the world at large, right? And it goes in that order. What's important to the country, the world, then the base,
Yeah,
right?
we
The
can't. You
people
can't
screaming
forget that he's
online,
serving the entire country, not just the base. 100%.
exactly, bro.
Yeah.
And the base, if you can't hang on a couple fucking weeks, then you were never part of this base. You know what I'm saying? And the people that just got here, you can tell because they care more about the Epstein files than they do about Obamagate and Russiagate. Obamagate and Russiagate is what started this whole fucking thing. That was a treasonous coup
Pivoting
against,
right into the Russiagate, bro.
bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's just go right into it because it's that important. And you can tell the people that made their wings in this movement were the people that were standing in the breach in 2017, screaming, "This is fucking bullshit." When the whole world was against us, when everyone thought he was a Russian spy, it looked terrible. Those people earned their stripes to now be able to say what's what now, right? They read that whole situation correctly. Where were all these people now? All these Sunshine Patriots, where were you when the shit was ugliest? When this shit was looking like Trump was a Russian spy, they said they had a fucking tape of him pissing on Russian hookers and all this shit, right? That is the biggest scandal in the history of the world. That was a treasonous conspiracy, not only against President Trump, against the American people, against the people
Hey.
that voted for him. Okay, because
Hence
he won,
Obama, bro.
and all roads lead to Obama, bro.
Damn.
That's what this is all about, right? And because Trump won right in 2015, technically November 5th, right? So then from November 5th to January 20th, Obama was technically still the president. So during that time, right there, Obama came up with the whole Russia collusion hoax. The whole thing was manufactured. There was not one thing in there that actually was credible, right? The CIA went after one of Trump's people that worked for his campaign. They tried to get him that way. They were subverting. They were spying. They were espionage. That your own government is doing that to the elected president on behalf of a foreign power, Russia. Whether they did it or not, they benefited Russia because that's what Russia wanted, was chaos in our elections, right? Because the whole lie of Russiagate was that Russia hacked our elections to favor Trump, right? That they manipulated votes, or even if they didn't, they manipulated information online, which they always do, which every fucking election that happens is not a big deal. So that was the thing, right? So that's what Obama invented. Obama invented that Russia got into our elections to help Trump, right? When in reality, now we know from the DNI, Tulsi Gabbard releasing all the information, was that in fact it was Russia wanted Hillary to win. They'd rather Hillary to win because she was a known evil. She was the Secretary of State during Obama, so they knew her. They knew exactly how
The
to operate with her.
predictability about her too, because they knew
So
exactly
important.
what game she was going to play. Yep.
Exact, and they had dirt on her, right? So now the dirt that they had on her was her health. They had vital information, Russia, that Hillary Clinton had psychotic episodes, that she would have to be put on tranquilizers, that she was power, drunk with power, with lust and power. She wanted power so bad, right? Sounds like everything we know about Hillary. So if
A
they
thousand
wanted
percent.
Hillary Clinton to win, why wouldn't, if they wanted Donald Trump to win, why wouldn't they release that information before the election? If they wanted, that was the biggest thing that they had, right? If they wanted Donald Trump to win, they would have released that information about her health.
1000%.
Instead,
Yeah.
they held on to it because they thought she was going to win.
Mm.
Russia thought Hillary, and they
But well,
wanted that
mind
to
you, in
use
2020, in
against her.
2016, when I voted for that freaking witch, I thought she was gonna win.
Everybody did. It was a 98% chance.
Bro, we were like, what the crap? I woke up the next
98%,
morning and
bro.
Trump had won. I was like, what the fuck,
Bro, and
dude?
that changed the course of history, bro. Do people understand what Donald Trump accomplished that day? If we would have got Hillary Clinton in 2016, we would have got a slow drip of everything we've seen under Biden. But it would have happened right under our noses because we wouldn't have had somebody in a position of power screaming that it was bullshit. We would have just been crazy internet people like we had been up until
We
we
would
got
just be conspiracy theorists.
exactly, bro. And now we're legitimate theorists, bro. Our theories have
I
legitimacy.
like to
We're
say us
logical theorists.
podcasters and truthers now are the mainstream, dog. We're controlling this
100%,
shit.
bro.
We
We're the
have
truth stream.
the truth stream. We have the leverage. Moving into leverage, bro. Talk to me, big dog.
So yeah, this goes with the Epstein files too, right? So now RussiaGate. Everyone thinks that Trump put out the RussiaGate documents to distract from the Epstein documents. When of course, once again, the exact opposite.
And the left
is
said,
true.
the left even went as far as saying, oh, Trump used the Obama Gate situation and the Russia hoax bringing it back in to distract you because he's on the Epstein list. That's
right.
what everybody
Which
asked.
the exact opposite is true, because what actually happened is Tulsi Gabbard said this is the first investigation she opened when she took office. And this just didn't come out yesterday. This was been building up. They've been doing an investigation, finding all these documents, doing all this stuff. So this took the first 6 months of Tulsi Gabbard's thing. That's what she's been doing. So there's obviously rats and fucking deep states inside the intelligence community. That's where they live, all the bureaucrats, right, that have been there for 30 years. So they knew that this was coming. They knew that she was going to release this. So a couple days before she was about to release it, they leaked the memo about the Epstein files. People forget that was actually leaked to Axios. That's how this whole fucking thing started with the Epstein shit, is because somebody leaked that memo that wasn't signed by anybody to Axios. So that was a distraction from them knowing that Gabbard was going to come out with the RussiaGate documents, right? And so now what I really feel like about this whole Epstein stuff is that Trump is using it as leverage, right? I think he made a deal with some people in positions of power around the world, leaders, negotiators, right? Listen, you allow me to implement my agenda. You sign every single trade deal I tell you to sign. You don't complain. You make it look good. You fight, on TV. You make it look like it's a movie, like you hate me and everything. That's fine. But when it comes down to it, you're going to allow me to implement my agenda, because they could be doing a lot more to stop it. The Democrats could actually be doing a lot more to stop it. The ones that are in power, even the ones behind the scenes, they could be killing him right now. There's a whole bunch of things that they could do, right, that they're not doing. Right. So Trump has to keep that promise in order for his stuff to go through. So now what's the one way you can get the Epstein files released without doing it yourself? You tell everybody to fucking forget about it. Stop talking about it, because the exact opposite is going to happen, right? If you tell people, you don't think Trump knows that if he says stop talking about it, that literally the whole world is going to start talking about it, that this exact thing was going to happen? That's why he called it a hoax.
Done it. We see them do it countless
and that's
times,
why he called it a hoax.
bro.
He's not calling Jeffrey Epstein files a hoax. Obviously, it was his administration who fucking arrested Jeffrey Epstein and then prosecuted Ghislaine Maxwell. They obviously know that. The hoax is what's happening now, that he's on the list, and all these truthers, right? They think they're onto something now, right? Because they're on the narrative of the day. They completely forgot everything that we learned over the last 8 years about Donald Trump and the relationship between Epstein, which we've broken down a million times, right? So this is how you get the Democrats to be the ones to demand it, and you're in the background like, listen, I said it was a hoax. I said forget about it, right? I did my job. Hey guys, I did my job. I'm not the one saying release it. It's the deep state is now up against the Democrats. The Democrats are the one demanding it from the deep state. And now you got the Obama judge blocking it, right? And Trump knew that this is why. And are we so naive to think that the Biden administration didn't manipulate the files before they gave them to Trump? You
1000%.
think they just handed Trump the fucking golden fucking nugget? Like, here, sir, our enemy, please use this against us. Like, are you fucking serious? Of course, they manipulated it. They deleted shit. They could have added AI videos to it. They could have added names, took out names. And this is why Trump says, I can't put innocent people. It's not just the innocent victims. It's the people that may have been put in the list that actually had nothing to do with this. Or there could be people in there that just knew Epstein, that met him a couple times, and their names are on the list,
And that he could
like
still use
Trump,
as leverage without
like
them
Trump,
actually using it.
right?
Yep.
And then so you can't put that out because what if it's like these leaders of these institutions or these countries that are on the list, but they didn't actually pedophiles, but no one's going to believe that. If they put out a list, every name on that list, everyone's going to assume that we're a pedophile, no matter what. And a lie goes around the world 100 times before the truth hits it around once. So no matter what, so they have to be careful with that. This could crash markets. This could crash trade deals. This could crash diplomatic relations. So people aren't thinking about the shockwave of this type of information, right? They're not thinking about the fact that the Biden administration had it for 4 years, and how stupid would they be, being the manipulative geniuses that they truly are, the deep state, right, and the Democrats. Why would they just hand that over to Trump? Like, bro, this is what I'm saying. You got to take your emotions out of it, bro.
If you
rise above it.
Let's just put it into perspective here. I think everybody's close to a freaking Walmart supercenter, and I'm just giving Walmart just as an example, bro. And they say one of the chairmen or the Walmart owner, family member, etc., was part of that, bro. What do you think is going to happen in these communities, bro? They will run into that Walmart, burn it down.
That too, yep.
And then chaos, bro. I mean, it'll be crazy. Yep. We all get affected. Bro. It was the smartest move. That's like probably kind of why the reason we're not prepared for aliens, because that's exactly what would happen. The first thing people think is go steal toilet paper. What happened in COVID-19? See what I'm saying, right?
Bro. We proved them all right with COVID. We proved all the people that think that we were going to be
like that. We're not ready.
Right. So yeah. Right. And the country isn't ready. Right. You have to be we're just implementing this agenda, and look at it. It is working. It's not like it's not working. If it wasn't working, he probably would release the files to distract from the economy. Do you know what I'm saying? But the economy is what needs to be in the forefront right now. It is the future of this country. It is the golden age of America. And people are just overlooking that because they're all in their emotions. They just got on the fucking train a couple months ago. They weren't asking for the Epstein files when Biden was president. Where the fuck was this energy when Joe Biden had the power to release the documents over the last 4 years?
Whoa,
the Democrats had
that's a neck shot. That's a shot in the neck.
House. They had all three branches of government, right? And what did they do? They blocked it. When Marsha Blackburn, the Tennessee senator from Tennessee, tried to release the files, the flight logs, specifically the flight logs, Dick Durbin, the Connecticut senator, blocked it. Okay, so when they had the power, they blocked it, and not one person in the media cared about it. Now, all these people that were denying that this even existed, the sex trafficking existence, right? They didn't even say that it was real. They said that it was a conspiracy theory, right? So now, instead of being a conspiracy theory,
oh no. Oh no. Yo, I lost you. You there?
Yeah, I'm here.
No, holy shit. Instead of being a conspiracy theory, was the last thing you said for those few seconds.
Oh man, well, that's crazy. So instead of being a conspiracy theorist,
where the fuck was that energy, guys?
Where was that energy when Joe Biden had the power to actually do something about it? Marsha Blackburn, the senator from Tennessee, she tried to release the documents, and the Democrats in the Senate blocked it.
Yep.
The media wasn't asking about it. Nobody was talking about it. All the people that denied it even existed this whole time. It was only us screaming about the fucking satanic pedophile ring.
Oh, but because it's Trump that said it. Oh.
Now they're the ones trying to draw the strings to Trump about this pedophile ring that they said never existed. Now you're the ones looking like a chalkboard meme, fucking trying to tie all the shit together, right? Oh,
that's the trailer right there.
Now you see it, right? So only because you think it's politically convenient, now you want transparency. But when you had the power to give the transparency, mum was the fucking word. That's crazy, bro.
Another huge and final topic that we need to get into: Bongino and the FBI. Something big is brewing, bro. What's cooking?
I suggest everyone go to Bongino's X page if you haven't read what he wrote. I think it was 2 nights ago now. He pretty much said that he knows people are frustrated because we're not seeing arrests and we're not seeing anything happen that way, right? But he's saying, I promise you people that things are happening behind the scenes that's not being able to be talked about right now. Obviously, you can't tell everybody what you're doing. That's crazy, right? So he was saying that they're looking into the deep state conspiracy about everything, and the things that he found has shooken him to his core, that he will never be the same again after learning the things that he learned. Now, this is a man who's been a cop, who's been a Secret Service agent, He's been a podcaster. He's been doing deep dives into all sorts of stuff, human trafficking, sex trafficking. For him to say this shook him to his core and that he'll never be the same again after learning what he's learned, bro, I can only fucking imagine. I mean, we can imagine. We know probably what he's learned. He's probably learned about the satanic rings, the blackmails, all the shit, that the human trafficking, all this shit that they are looking into. Cash Patel and Dan Bongino, they didn't build their lives pushing for the truth only to get the power to do something and then not do it. Right? You know what I'm saying? Like, we have to give these people time. This is what I'm saying. People act like this administration is over tomorrow, and we have to get all these things by next week because Kamala Harris is going to be the president or something. Or like you know, like I don't understand even the midterms. Okay, let's say the midterms. Let's say we lose the midterms. We still have the FBI. We still have the CIA. We still have the White. It doesn't matter. All those things can still continue, right? But to completely ignore all of the other things that are happening, and just because we're not seeing everything we want today right now does not mean we're not going to, and it doesn't mean it's not happening behind the scenes. And that's what Bongino was saying. Like, bro, listen, like, people, I know everyone's like crazy right now, right? But everything's happening in an order and in a specific time frame. It can't happen when we want. It can't happen when emotional podcasters like Candace Owens want, or just because they want the truth right now today. Doesn't mean you get it, bro. There's bigger things at play. We are literally bringing this whole system into a new financial system, to a new political system, a new political party. All of the things, everything has changed from 10 years ago, people. Do you understand how much we have accomplished in a decade? And I've said this before, but you look into history books and you read, oh, wow, they have revolution. Really, you're switching pages, but those pages are 10, 15, 20 years a page. And then the revolution happens. This isn't a fucking book. There's going to be history books written about this time. Believe that. But right now, we are in the middle of making history. We are in the middle of changing a political system that has enslaved us for fucking generations. This is our time. So we can't get distracted by these little things that we emotionally want right now because we dedicated time. Listen, Trump has fucking dedicated his life. He has put his life on the line, his financial wealth, his family's future, any chance of him having a normal life in the future, or his kids having a normal life, his grandkids, his great-grandkids will always have that name Trump, and there'll always be something next to it. But he's willing to put that on the line. Why? To protect Jeffrey Epstein? Are you fucking kidding me? The man was the only one. Trump blew the whistle on Epstein in 2005. That's the only reason why we know this man's name. Did we hear about Epstein under Obama administration, under George Bush? He was out there raping little kids during those administrations. They're the ones that cut him that sweetheart fucking deal that he got in 2005 that gave him jail on the weekends and home confinement for raping little girls. That was the Trump administration? No, the Trump administration arrested his ass and now he's dead, and then Maxwell's in jail. That's how you know who's on what side. What was done when the power was given? When the power was held, who did what with it? Trump arrested him. Trump arrested Maxwell. They're both in jail, not raping kids. One's dead, maybe not. But he's not raping kids anymore because that border is closed. Human traffickers are being arrested. They just busted a huge dark web sex trafficking ring. 120,000 people just got arrested for sex trafficking on the dark web. Does this sound like someone that's protecting fucking pedophile rings?
60 kids in Florida. Another 3. How much was it in California? Another fucking 1,300.
Yeah, something like that. And then the 450,000 kids that they lost during the Biden administration, where was all these people that want to protect the children then? Where were all the protect the children people when Joe Biden lost 450,000 children? They had a hotline for the children to call if they were ever in trouble with their sponsored parents. 65,000 calls went unanswered during the Biden administration. Those little kids were begging for help. They were begging for someone to come help them. They didn't even answer their fucking phone call, bro. They let that shit on red. Yeah, we got you when we get to you. What'd Trump do? As soon as he got in, found 13,000 of them. Like that. That border is now closed. So you're going to sit here and tell me who's protecting pedophiles, bro? Who's protecting pedophiles? What administration protected pedophiles? What administration has taken down more in the first 6 months of his administration than the last 18 fucking years? Get out of here, bro.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I want you guys to take the minute and the day, not only to drop and fucking and share and like and subscribe. No, I want you to go check out Flash. Flashy_news1 on Instagram and also on Truth Social and on X. Bro, what are your final words?
Listen, man. We are emotional. It's an emotional time because we are in a psyop. We are seeing simultaneous psyops, right? The psyop from the left to distract, and then the good psyops, right? And the good psyop, what it's doing, it's bringing the two most scandalous things in history: the Obama gate, Russia gate, Jeffrey Epstein files, putting it together, right? Now, in the same breath, on one channel, you're hearing about Russia gate. You change the channel, you're hearing about the Epstein files. all of a sudden, all of our shit that we've been screaming about is mainstream. We have been waiting for this fucking moment for 10 years. First, the news to talk about what we care about, to talk about the things we know to be true, right? Just so you may not be getting the files right now, but we're getting the information on our television. Everyone is awake. People are now paying attention. This is what we wanted. Nobody was talking about this shit 3 months ago. Now, everybody is talking about it from one corner to the world to the other. What does Trump love more than anything? Drama, right? He is building a crescendo of drama. And when everybody's paying attention, just when you think you're not going to get it, boom, that door's going to open. Ghislaine Maxwell's going to sing like a fucking bird, and she's going to take down the whole thing because she's the fucking keystone.
That is right. Make sure you check us out. Drop a 5-star review and up a podcast on Spotify. That allows other people to enjoy the show as much as I enjoy making it. Peace. Thank you, Fats.
Fucking go, bro. Put us on
Paranoid Radio.